Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, canvas open wide. Embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the me indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
And gentlemen, to the Villain Report. It is your host, that's me, Russell Wayne, and I am your boy here every day, Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. doing the thing right there. Good morning to you all. We're broadcasting live into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page where we have over 58,000 villains and they're approaching 59,000 villains. Why have billions when we can have thousands? Yes, we are also broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions News Podcast Facebook page, and they have over 78,000 Lion fans in there, along with the JC Sports Network. And Joe Chap has been nice enough to lend us his Twitter since we really aren't on Twitter. So Joe Chap, welcome to all of your people from over there. Yes, we are broadcasting live on our YouTube page, and we are at Lions Villain Squad. We are brought to you by NFL Shop. You can use the link that I'm throwing into the comments right now to save up to 30% off of your order or whatever deal they have going on at NFL Shop. And thank you for supporting our page and by going through our affiliate marketing partner link right there at NFL Shop. Guilty by association. Yeah, if you own a business, you can be guilty by association. And you find out what that is, how you can partner with the Villain Squad. Get a hold of Main Event Mike at 810-620-2167 and find out how you can utilize the power of the villain to help your business.
You like that?
Absolutely. And then we have Facebook Stars program. We'll go to support Riker Waynesworth. Riker is my son. He has special needs and a rare genetic disorders that actually is being studied by the University of Michigan. And my wife's Facebook page is documenting the journey of our family. So she is also a great resource for parents who have children who have special needs. So if you are commenting using stars, thank you for helping to support our journey. Faith, family, and football in that order. We use football to spend time with our families. We use football to create memories. We don't let football use us. And most importantly here, join the conversation. because we're the UDFA of sports podcasting. That's us, the Villain Squad. Couple knuckleheads with a podcast. Tom Kennedy.
You've had enough of that shit.
The Tom Kennedy of sports podcasting.
You like that?
We're not the best show that's out there. We're probably not even the second best. Maybe top 5, but top 10 for sure. Right? And you can support us simply by liking, sharing, commenting, and joining the conversation. And the conversation this week, what is the conversation about this week? Well, it's your Detroit Lions playing a home game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so let's say hello to everybody that's in here so far. Henry is up in the house.
You like that? You like that?
Scotty Reno. What's up, Reno? Reno up in the house.
You like that?
Single Dads Club's in the house.
Say hello to my little friend.
Jeffrey Addison is up in the house, and I always take that as an opportunity every time I either Jeff or Paul Jones in here. I take an opportunity to throw the link to our Facebook group in there. And if you're sick of spam posts on there, I went and I cleaned out some of them. People trying to sell their own stuff. It's like, look, we work hard to bring you the good content on here, and we keep all of the spam posts out there. And the only sales posts that should be going on the page are the ones that we make, because it's our page, you know. So if somebody's going to buy some Lions gear, buy some Lions gear from our links on our page. So if you're sick of the spam ones out there, throwing them all in the comments, trying to, oh, my son made this right here, and we can mass produce them and send them to you. Shut up. Or at least we're straight up with it. You know, we have Lions gear right there that goes straight to NFL Shop. We have a partnership with NFL Shop that says that if you use that link, that they'll help us and our page. And they give us a couple bucks if you buy a jersey from NFL Shop. And we're being real with it. I ain't trying to hide it. I ain't trying to do any cute little ads right there. Just like, we love talking football. We love the Detroit Lions. We love talking about the next game that's on there. And, you know, if that leads to somebody wanting to buy a jersey and use our link, we thank you. We thank you for using our link to do that. It's not like we're getting rich off of it. Elise Memes is up in the house.
You like that?
Yes. Good morning, villains. Who y'all got winning the fight tonight? Ooh, I didn't even think I should have made a thing for that. They're winning the fight tonight. I really don't care. It's kind of like WWE, right? I think that they already know who's going to win the fight. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, honestly, I think it would be hilarious if, you know, they planned everything out. And then, I mean, Tyson's still a boxer. And, you know, I don't know if he can hit with the power, but I still wouldn't want to get hit by the guy. But I really don't care. I don't know. Who do you got out there? Jake Paul, Mike Tyson? Put it in the comments. Elise wants to know, who do you have in the fight? Who do you got? Who do you got in the fight? And Elise, I had a project for you if you wanted to undertake it. I was thinking of yesterday, and I don't know if you heard me, but flashy thing guy from Men in Black. I kept on thinking how they must have flashy thing guy to Jared Goff after he threw his 5th interceptions. They had him over on the side, and he's like, psh, and he forgot everything, and then went back in there and killed it in the 4th quarter and won the game. So I just thought of a meme with the Men in Black guys, flashy thing guy, to make Goff forget about all the interceptions that he threw in the game and then go out and play like an all-pro in the 4th quarter. Anyway, okay, I'm dumb. All right, Mark's in the house.
You like that?
What's up? Chuck, Muskegon Posse up in the house.
You like You like that?
And here's our group right here from Jeffrey. Jeffrey does a good job at helping keep all the spam and the fake posts out of there. The ones that make me the most mad are the one, it's not even that people trying to sell stuff and make a living. It's the people that put these ridiculous articles out there with like car accidents and, you know, this and that. It's like, knock it off. But we got about 28,000 people in that group. You can post in there. Just keep it all football related and don't attack anybody personally. Welcome all Packer fans. You should say Packer fan. It's you now, Steve. It's you. But I appreciate you representing the pack since nobody else will. Jeffrey Addison at Steve's. Can Packer fans read? Oh, man. Henry Gray.
You like that?
Yes. Tyson old ass. I don't know. Is this really a big win for Jake Paul? I mean, this is like a lose-lose situation for Paul, to me. I mean, what happens if he knocks him out? Oh, Elise. Oh, Men in Black. You've never seen Men in Black. Oh, wow. So they had this thing. They're like an alien police force, and to work for the police force, you know, they had to make people forget some things that they saw. So they had this little stick, little metal stick. They'd flash it, and it would flash, and they'd forget everything that happened before that moment, and then they tell them what they really saw. No, that wasn't aliens that you just saw right there. It was actually just a government experiment, and that everybody took part of it. And, you know, you're going to be getting compensated for that. Okay. And they would believe it. Flashy thing. Oh, shoot. I'll have to make that one. Maybe I'll have to make that one, Elise. I guess if you don't get it, you don't get it. Who do you got, Tyson or Jake Paul? I mean, Jake Paul's got the name. He's the one putting on the fight. I would think that Jake Paul's going to win this. I mean, I don't believe that this is like a real competition fight. You know, this is more of an exhibition type of thing. So I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. I think this is more like pro wrestling in this. They're going to go out there and dance around a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a real fight. And it would surprise me if it is. I'd rather watch WWE SmackDown tonight. Honestly. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if WWE does something with the crossover of that. Because you could have Iron Mike Tyson come into the WWE and do stuff. Yeah, Tyson's like 57 or 58 years old. Yeah, 31 years different. And I think it's funny, Jake Paul always plays the victim on this. Why won't he go out there and just fight pro? I'm sure that they would give him a boxing license. Why doesn't he just go fight the up and coming boxers that are his age, you know? Is he trying to say that he's the best boxer in the world? I mean, he hasn't fought anybody. I mean, if he really wants to prove that he's a boxer, he should go out and box some boxers. Right? Am I missing something here?
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
I mean, obviously I'm more of a football guy, but I mean, I would think that if you wanted to prove yourself as a boxer, you wouldn't fight like ex-MMA guys and then a boxer that was ferocious, you know, in the late 80s, in the early 90s. I mean, we're not even in the right century here anymore, Jake Paul. I mean, what can you really win by winning this fight? Tyson by $1 billion? Yeah. What a joke that would be for Jake Paul to talk all that shit and then to have Tyson go in there and do some Mike Tyson's punch out on him. Doo-doo-doo, diddle-diddle-doo. Diddle-diddle-doo. The one shot. I remember that game. I could beat Tyson on Mike Tyson's punch out. You just got to get through the first minute and 30. Jake is going to have to run away for a couple of rounds. I mean, he's 57 years old. I mean, bodies start to break down. I mean, he can get in really, really good cardio shape for a 57-year-old guy. I'm not denying that. But Jake Paul's got, you know, the prime of his career body and been training in it. You could never convince me that Tyson had anywhere near the power that he had 20 years ago. I'm not saying that he can't box. I mean, but you're fighting, you know, 40% of the legend that is Mike Tyson. Fred Peterson says boxing is dying, and I firmly believe Jake Paul is destroying what's left of the sport with these fights. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, people don't have to even look at what Jake Paul's doing is boxing. I mean, I don't know. What do real boxing enthusiasts say about it? They're probably saying a lot of the same things I am. You know, get him. You know, you want to prove you're a boxer. Go on the circuit and fight some of the up and comers. Fight some of those hungry guys that know how to box, that have been practicing boxing. I mean, Jake Paul's a clown. He's a clown trying to get clicks right now. I don't think he has anything to do with boxing. Do they consider this boxing? Is this a boxing match? Or is this just like an exhibition pay-per-view, right? LOL, Fred Peterson, I know when I'm watching this weekend. Yeah. It's gonna change your life, Elise. Men in Black. There's like 3 Men in Blacks. There's like 3 movies. But, you know, like most movies, the first one was the best one. Here come the Men in Black. Yeah. Galaxy Defenders. Yeah. Here come the Men in Black. Single Dads Club said, I hope Tyson knocks the crap out of him. I think that would be good karma, right? I mean, say this thing is fixed. And, you know, Tyson's supposed to go out there and make it look good for a little bit. And, you know, they're going to go the whole time. And Jake Paul's going to win by decision, right? Because they're going to put on this exhibition. And I would think that it would be funny that he's like, yeah, I'm going to give you $30 million, what a X amount of dollars that you're going to dance around. You're going to do this. And it was pre-planned. And Tyson didn't go with the plan. Like, they actually get out there and then he starts throwing bombs. Catches Logan off guard, knocks him out right in front of everybody. That would be the greatest ending in the world to me. That's the only ending that I could be entertained with. Yeah, Paul's 27 years old. Because what other outcomes are there? I mean, when you break it down, let's say Jake goes out there and knocks the shit out of a 58-year-old boxer that was good 30 years ago. I mean, is that entertaining to you? Would that be entertaining to see Jake Paul just knock out Mike Tyson? Make it look bad? You know, is it going to be, or they go the whole 8 rounds or 10 rounds or whatever it is. They go the whole time and Jake wins by decision. Well, good fought. The pay-per-view people got their money's worth. They got a full 10-round fight. Or Mike Tyson wins by decision. And all three of those things, I could take it. I could leave it. I don't know. But the best ending possible would be Mike Tyson's Punch-Out style, 1991 style. Mike Tyson goes in there, first round KO on Jake Paul. That would be the best outcome for everybody's money. Everybody that watched it would feel like they had gotten their money's worth. It would be the quickest $30 million that Jake Paul ever made in his life. And maybe that's the plan. Is Jake Paul's going to just get knocked the hell out. That would be the best ending in the world to me. What do you think about that? What would be the best ending in the world? Like your desire, not what you think's going to happen. I think the corporate machine's going to piss us all off. And they're going to make a whole shitload of money and everyone's going to be like, with the whatever. They're going to poo-poo the ending. Because it's going to be some kind of ending that tries to make Jake Paul look good. Elise, I was about 8 when I came out. I'm now 34. If you're younger than me, I get it. Will Smith was huge in the late 90s, Men in Black, Wild Wild West. Yeah, that's right. Jake Paul needs to fight close to Mike Tyson's distance allows Tyson to explode from his legs with crushing power. Jake has the reach advantage. Oh, man, you guys are taking this serious. Corey Patterson, maybe Jake Paul should fight a real fighter and not one that's 60 years old, but he won't because he knows better. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that the boxing commission wouldn't give him a pro license as popular as he is. The opportunity would be there for him to go out there and fight contenders. But he wants to pretend like he's, it's my name. No, of course you want to fight me. They got no names. They can't make money with their fights. It's like being a promoter and being a boxer, two different things. He's obviously a really good promoter. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, those guys are the best promoters in the business right now. Jeremy B in the house.
You like that? Say hello to my little friend.
Jake Paul's part. Jake Paul is of the resurgence. He is killing the sport by fighting middle-aged past their prime. But the thing is like, I don't think that people that watch boxing consider this boxing. Do you think it really kills boxing? Don't watch it then. Watch a real boxing match then. Promote real boxing. Real good boxing, real good boxers. The thing is like boxing doesn't have to die. They just need to promote it better. I mean, people love competition. So put something together where you promote it that has a good purse. You know, Jake Paul and Logan Paul have mastered this. They have mastered the art of being able to promote. Honestly, boxing should let Jake Paul take over the promotion part of boxing. Because I don't know, I like a good boxing match. I'll sit down and watch a good boxing match. But, you know, right now, NFL's king, you know. But, you know, I can appreciate, I get it, though. If this match lasts an entire 3 rounds and Jake Paul wins, it's more rigged than wrestling. And I agree with that. To me, the only acceptable ending for me, because I'm not going to watch it. I'll watch it on a replay. I ain't giving them money. I ain't going anywhere and contributing to anybody making money with this fight. And to me, that's the way I battle Jake Paul. That's the way I'll battle somebody that, you know, you might think is ruining the sport. If you think he's ruining the sport, then don't participate in it. You don't have to participate in it. And honestly, I love wrestling. I'll watch wrestling. And if Jake is smart, and let's say it is rigged, Jeremy, let's say it is rigged. If Jake is smart, he'll let Mike Tyson knock him out in the first round. And then the WWE can hire Iron Mike Tyson as the killer. You know, somebody that's still got it, like, what, you don't think I don't still can't punch you in the face? What? I don't care if I'm 57 years old. I'll punch somebody in the face when I'm 60. 65, I could be getting Social Security, and I can still punch people in the face. Don't be playing with me. Don't be playing with my money, Jake Paul. What's the purse? What's the purse? I don't need a purse. I don't need any more money. I'm going to knock him out. Knock him out in the first round. I'm going to bite his ear off. Mark says the whole fight is a joke, a promotional stunt. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, everybody, we're talking about it. I don't even know about it. You know, entertaining would be to watching Tyson knock out Paul. Both of them are getting paid regardless, right? It's an exhibition match. I think it's 3 to 7 rounds. But I'm only going to need about 30 seconds in round 1. Mike Tyson. Tyson will piston Honda him. Oh gosh, that brings back some like high school memories for me. I'm gonna be 50 this year. Jake Paul is as soft as the Island Boys because I'm an island boy. Island boy. Fred Peterson says, Elise, there's no way. It's disrespectful to ask a woman her age, but your definition, not old lady. Oh, very respectful. There's more than there's more than just a Tyson fight on US. There are some title fights on the undercard. Okay, that's cool. Well, if that's the case, couldn't you make an argument that Jake Paul is helping boxing? So you're telling me, I mean, if this is true, I don't really know anything about it. This is why I love viewer driven. You guys drive the viewer, because I came on here prepared to talk more about, you know, Ben Johnson. And I was going to talk a little bit about Carlton Davis. I was going to talk about our coordinators. But if Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are driving the conversation, let's go. But couldn't we make the argument if Tyson is putting, or if Tyson and Paul are putting eyes on boxing, right? So if there's title fights for actual boxing on the undercards, I think you can make an argument that Jake Paul is helping boxing. Corey Patterson says it's an exhibition like Floyd Mayweather does. The problem with boxing is you have Canelo ducking people, so you're sitting and waiting on big fights. And that's why Turk Alisic took over. I mean, I don't know about the politics of what's going on, but I do have common sense. And if they're ducking big fights, that's a damn shame. But if this fight is putting eyes on boxing, then I would think that that's a good thing, right? You're telling me you guys get that tonight, if you watch that fight, and that you're actually going to get to watch other real boxers fight in sanctioned fights that are for real titles. Is that what you're telling me? I do watch real boxing on ESPN every week. What truthfully killed boxing in the mainstream ports is when Ray Boom Boom Mancini killed the Korean boxer on ABC Wild World of Sports. I mean, I don't know. I don't see boxing as dead. I mean, we're talking about a boxing match on a football show right now. So I don't know. With mainstream media the way that it is, that it just needs good promotion. Like you said, you even admit every week. You admit it every week. You do watch real boxing on ESPN every week, and it is good. I like a good boxing match. Sorry, we'll see you later, Mart. Thank you.
You like that?
You've had enough of that shit.
Yeah, I understand. It's free if you already have Netflix. Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing that JB on the Hispanic Fighter, don't know his name, but he had to plaster his gloves. He had plaster in his gloves. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that'll help. That'll hurt boxing for sure. It takes a while to come back from that, but you can come back from that. They just got to do it right. He'll get in the ring with Tyson for 30 million. Then again, after hospital fees, it sounds like 20 bucks. Jake takes the fall. That would be the best thing for his career. He ain't trying to be a real boxer. Stop it. Really? Jake Paul is never trying to be champion of the world. He just wants to get on the internet, talk some shit. He's training hard. I mean, you can't take anything away from this training. He's putting the work in. But as far as having skills against the best boxers in the world, I don't think he ever wants to do that. And Henry Gray says, Ross, you should play the golf Mike Tyson AI clip. Oh, I don't remember where that's at. I got in trouble for that. AI clip. I got well, not that one, but I got in trouble with for one that had Dan Campbell on it. I got in trouble. Actually, it still is a mark on our deal. I had Dan Campbell with the Taken with Liam Neeson. He's like, I will find you and I will kill you. And I got reported, and that thing has been a ding on the Villain Squad page for 12 months right now. I'm still waiting for him to take the thing off the back. It's not affecting the page, I don't believe, but like, it's funny. Jake brings fans to the sport. Yeah, I'm arguing because I don't know a lot about boxing. I don't know about what Jeremy's talking about here. I didn't follow boxing like that. So I don't know a lot about the history of it, but I'm just thinking layman's perspective. If you have Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, it's bringing all these eyes, and then there's an undercard with real boxing, I would argue that that move helps boxing. I think that we're talking about the game. I'm gonna use your comment right here after I'm done reading the rest of these about the boxing to transition to football. Let's see. That's what took boxing off TV network back in '84. Yeah, and right now I get that, Jeremy. Yeah, it definitely needs a resurgence, but I do not believe for 1 minute that Jake Paul is destroying boxing. There's no way. Actually, I've already seen just in this short conversation that we've had with everybody that's on here. And by the way, everybody, thank you for being part of the live version of this show. We're going to have 5,000 to 10,000 people look at this broadcast before the end of the day. And I always appreciate my live audience to come on here, a couple hundred people that we do it. And I'm not disagreeing with Jeremy right here. I'm just saying that boxing could have a resurgence if the right person takes it over from a promotion standpoint, because it's not the product, you know, and people aren't just going to, oh, wow, the guy died in 1984 on TV, so we're going to hold it against him forever. No, this society forgives and just needs the right promotion. And honestly, I like what you just said. Actually, I had no interest in this Jake Paul fight with Mike Tyson. I was actually anti it. And this information that you gave me today, that they have undercards, there's actually title fights on the undercard that are for real boxing, putting other eyes on boxing. I've changed my mind. If that's the case. If that's the case. Yeah, by filling the space with gloves adds weight. That's the reason why they made gloves between 8 and 14 ounces. So this boxing match that you guys are talking about from the 80s changed the face of boxing, is what you're saying. That's crazy. That's crazy. Central Scrutinizer says that I don't think it's a trap. So now we're switching. Now we're going to switch over to the football game and talk about that, because the Lions were in a dogfight and they may come out flat. That's my biggest concern. And I understand that this could be a trap game. That's what Steve said. I wanted to use his as the first one.
You like that?
You've had enough of that shit.
But I don't think that it's going to be a trap game for this, because I think that they experienced their trap game. I think coming out in the first half of this last game and getting punched in the mouth and being down 23-7 was the trap. And they had to find their way out of that mess. And most teams don't find their way out of that mess. And I ain't gonna, sit up here and try to make excuses, because they played awful in the first half and they had to dig themselves out of a hole. And really, they probably should have lost the game playing as bad as they did. Like, I think what was it, 1970 was the last time a team came back after throwing 5 interceptions and being down like that. I mean, you usually lose a game where you turn the ball over 5 times by double digits. You get blown out of a game. They got themselves into that last year when they played the Baltimore Ravens, because those turnover games can spin out of control real quick. And I'm not going to say there's not one bit about that. That was luck. It's called poise. And so when you say that this could be a trap game, that's fine. It could be, but it won't be. It won't be, because they had their trap. And honestly, when you think about adding Zadarius Smith to the defense for the first time, you're talking about adding Ifatu Melifanu back to the lineup. And that's pretty cool too. And then you're going to have an offense that struggled, that threw 5 interceptions last week. You don't think Jared Goff wants to bounce back here? It's not like he didn't play bad at the end of the game. When Aaron Glenn was asked who was the most impressive player in the comeback win, he said Jared Goff. He said Jared Goff. Because how easy would it be for a player to, lose his confidence, even if it's just for a game, just to lose his confidence, to let 5 turnovers get to him, be like, man, we'll get him next time. I'll be ready next week. But he stayed in the fight and then had to play nearly perfect in the fourth quarter to come back and win by 3 points. It was a night and day difference. That's why I think flashy thing, Elise, once you watch Men in Black, you'll get it. But you have to have a memory like that. You have to have a flashy thing memory. And Jared Goff did that. Carlton Davis had an outstanding performance to come back in that game. So you got a Jacksonville Jaguar team that is tailor-made for this ass whooping they're going to get. They're going to get this ass whooping on Sunday, and we're just going to give them an ass whooping. I think that will get their best punch. I think the Lions might even go down in the game, but this game is going to finish like an ass whooping. Because they can play stout up front, but that 32nd ranked pass defense isn't going to all of a sudden start playing good. That's why when I got into this, to the individual gambling things that I thought stood out, was Jamison Williams and Sam Laporta are sitting there at plus 1,300 for 2 TDs. If you bet on them to get 2 TDs. Now, I'm not saying that Jamison Williams is going to score 2 TDs, but I'm saying that his skill set talks about 2 TDs. This 32nd ranked defense lets wide receivers get behind the secondary. And Jamison Williams is really fast. And I think in this game that they can really exploit that secondary. So that's why I don't think it's going to be a hangover, Steve. They got an exploitable secondary. Jaguars are 32nd in total yardage. Yeah. I like this point right here, Jeremy. The Texans game was the best example of growth in our coaching staff. Second half adjustments were on point. That's a great point.
You like that?
It's like you got to be able to make the adjustments, and you know where you're winning your individual matchups. And it's like from the offensive side, Jeremy, it was just a matter of time. You just have to wait for your big men to start dominating. They had to wear down that. That was a fired up, really fast defensive line, in my opinion, for the Texans. And they had to wear them down. And by the time the fourth quarter came, offensive line was doing their thing, opening up big holes, and then unlocking Jared Goff's superpower, which is to run the play action. Dwayne says Goff had an ugly game, but he did not fold, and he kept coming back, took the team down. Jake Bates have a chance to win, and he did that. Yeah, he had an ugly game for 3 quarters. You got to understand, he turned something else on. They weren't just running the ball in the 4th quarter, Dwayne. He was throwing clutch passes, but those clutch passes were working because they unlocked the run offense, and they got to run the play action game that is unstoppable once they get that play action game running. But it took them 3 quarters to get there. Is the Green Bay Bears game a trap game for the Packers? All the downfalls that's happening for the Bears seems suspicious. Is it a trap game? Is Jordan Love playing? Because it seems to me like the Packers got problems. I mean, you can trust in Malik Willis all you want, right? But here's something that's for real about the Bears, and this is why it is a trap game for you. The Bears play defense. And they can have the shittiest team in the whole league, but with that defense means that they can win any game. That defense can just decide to beat you. They got a good defense. So, and they just made some changes. So I expect their offense to hit you with some things that are different. Something that isn't on tape. So is the Green Bay Bears game a trap game for the Packers? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You've beaten that team 10 straight times. You don't think that that's sitting in the belly of all of those players? I mean, you have your own problems that you have to worry about over there in Green Bay. And the Bears are going to come to play you. The Bears are going to come to play you. So, yeah, I think it's a trap game. Goff played smart. If you rewatch the game, I think he played well, but the Texans' defense was very good. That's pretty good assessment.
It's my quarterback.
I think that honestly, 3 of the interceptions straight up. You know, you're talking about a tipped ball. You're talking about, a good defensive play where he got a hold of his arm and it was more of a fumble interception. And then the other one was, down at the end of the half. I'm not making excuses for him. I mean, he had a bad game. But a lot of the dirt throws, I know the dirt throws piss people off. I mean, just to tell you guys, when he throws the ball right at the feet of somebody, it's not because he's not being accurate. It's because he's trying not to get his receiver killed or give the defensive person a chance to make a play on the ball. An incompletion's better than throwing a pick 6. And if you watch those plays like Central Scrutinizer is talking about, you'll see that he played smart in those games. And you got to give Texans credit. You got to give them more credit than to say Goff played bad. I think that's what you're trying to say there. Fred Peterson's going to wear his House of Hutch shirt. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
You like that?
If Chicago wins, it will be on the back of the defense. Yeah, but didn't they just fire somebody? They fired whatever scapegoat that they wanted to have. They fired the scapegoat. But I wanted to do something to end this right here. I've been thinking about doing these things. I see some of the other content creators do it, And I just kind of wanted to react to this Ben Johnson coordinator that when they met yesterday. And you guys can go on the journey with me and go ahead and comment whatever you feel on it too. But here you go.
Yeah, that game last week, we didn't start the way we wanted to. The first half was some of the poorest football we've probably played in the last 2.5 years. And fortunately, at halftime, we got our act together. No, we still had a couple turnovers there in the second half, but our guys were playing harder. And certainly in the fourth quarter, we did what we needed to do to win that football game. So that was good to see. That was a different type of game. We hadn't seen that from the 2024 Detroit Lions yet. That much adversity, particularly early in the game, and to be able to overcome that was pretty promising for what could unfold down the road here.
Yeah, and that is straight from the horse's mouth, right? That what an awful beginning, and really it goes all the way back to the third quarter. You know, like it was really 3 quarters of bad play where, you know, I mean, Carlton Davis takes the ball away right at the beginning of the third quarter, and then they give the ball right back up. So it was almost just kind of like resetting your troops. And then once they found their edge and how to attack, then they were home free.
Just had the new exciting primetime games and felt the energy that's come with that. Felt in some way that Houston was experiencing that and played with maybe a different level of intensity and energy coming out defensively for sure. How do you combat that, counter that as a coach when a team just is, an opponent is so amped up like that?
Well, I feel like we typically get the opponent's best shot each and every week right now. That's something we learned in training camp. We've talked about it as a unit that, when we faced the Giants, we didn't have maybe our best 2 days in a row there. And so we learned early on that when you come in with that high expectations, there's a little bit of a target on your back, and everyone's gonna give you their best. And so that certainly happened on Sunday night, primetime game, like you said. And that's what that defense is really known for as well. It's not a complex scheme necessarily, but they bring it. They showed it on tape, said it. They're a fast, aggressive, physical unit, and they brought that to us there early in the game. There were some things schematically we were hoping to do to slow them down, and probably didn't work as well as we had hoped there. But we found our footing there at halftime, and really proud of how the guys came out at halftime and responded.
He talked about something right there in that segment where it's like we're getting all of the team's best punches when you really look at it. It's like, when you got this really highly ranked offense, all of the defense, like they take it like this personal thing that they want to stop our defense. So you're not just getting the Texans, but you were getting a very good version and a fired up and an emotional, fast defense that they had to overcome. And in the first half, they had some things schemed in that they thought was going to work and didn't. I mean, I love the transparency in Ben Johnson. I think that's why he's going to be a good head coach someday, for sure.
With Jamo, 3 catches for 53 yards, but could you almost argue that was one of his better games, just with the degree of difficulty in some of those catches and the key spots? And how impressed were you with him holding on to some of those and making those big plays, even though they weren't the splash touchdowns, but they were key?
Right, we absolutely needed them. I mean, the 1 third down early in the game was, Jared said he put it behind him just a little bit, and he was able to come down with that ball and extend that drive. And then in the fourth quarter there, you saw the one where I don't know if I've seen him make that catch even in practice over the last 2.5 years. So that was certainly encouraging to see. He's really coming on, showing up. When you challenge him on the sideline, he typically responds in a positive way. And we knew, particularly with the turnovers, our margin for error had gone down. And so he needed to make that play for us at that time, and he did. But the level of confidence in him and his hands and his detail continues to rise.
Jameson Williams getting some love from Ben Johnson. Those catches that he had were huge too. If he didn't make those 2 catches, 2 of his catches were on 3rd downs. They were so big. And then the one that bounced up into the air and he had to resecure, that was really, really awesome. It's good to see Ben Johnson giving some love to Jameson Williams.
Here was, the player that impressed him was Jared Goff, and just kind of the way he bounced back from those turnovers to the GS at the end. What did you learn about Jared in those situations last week?
It's really been the same guy, though. I mean, I spend probably the most time with him than any other player on the roster, so gotten to know him really well. He's had his lumps over the years, and this was another one where it's just a little stumbling block, and he handled it as well as you possibly could imagine. I mean, on the sideline, we're talking through what he's seeing, and he's seeing it all great. And as much as I can, I'm trying to reassure him. It's on me as much as it's anything else, because what we saw on tape and what we said was going to happen didn't quite turn out the way we wanted. And so just telling him that I'm as responsible as he is for those interceptions. And he certainly showed up there. Like I said, in the 4th quarter, he came out and was still firing that ball. A lot of guys would clam up and be afraid to make a mistake, and he did not do that.
Oh, yeah. I love the way Jared Goff played at the end of that game. Because, I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy. And, like, kudos to Ben Johnson. Not just Ben Johnson, but for Ben Johnson to be able to take what you were doing and being able to switch it, because obviously what you schemed in the first half didn't work, right? I mean, they schemed against it and they were able to be successful against us in the first half. He had to change the way that he was attacking and come back around. And Goff, even when they changed it and it was working, he still threw an interception and still had to recover. But he's just so even keel, not too high when it's good, not too low when it's bad. And you give a guy like that enough opportunities, then eventually they're going to crack through that door. And that's exactly what they did.
Out from the game, and obviously you have the perspective of winning, but what do you take away mentally from an opportunity like this, where you do have a lot of tape that you can look at offensively and see what worked, what didn't, more than you've had in previous weeks?
Yes. What's the question?
How do you mentally process that? Or is it a challenge that you look forward to that's like we have more to work on this week, or does it not feel different than any other week where maybe the offense was more humming?
Yeah, no, I think it's business as usual. We've got a process that we trust and we feel good about how we approach each and every week. In general, I would say not just that game, the last 3 weeks, there are things that we haven't been consistent enough with. Going back to the Tennessee game, I mean, I know we scored 50-something points, but that was more gifted to us, I feel like, more than us pulling our own weight. Same thing with Green Bay. We played half a game really well, and we didn't finish the second half the way we're capable of. And then certainly last week, we didn't start the game like we wanted to. So we're still fighting to play 60 minutes of consistent football like we're capable of. And we've shown flashes that we can be a dominant unit when we're all executing at a high level and we believe in what we're doing. But we just need to put it together again. That's all.
Yeah, I love right there where he is giving credit for the other. You got defensive, offensive, and then special teams, right? You're giving credit to the other units because, especially like on those 50-point games, it's like that wasn't all offense. And this team is yet to put together a complete game on offense or defense, right? So, I mean, you gave up 23 points in the first half of the Texans game, right? Like you played really good in the second half, didn't give up any points. That's good because that gave us a chance to win. But this complete game where you get the best out of your offense, defense, and your special teams. That hasn't happened yet. So, I mean, kudos to him for not being afraid to continue to point that out.
In those plays, can you feel the energy tick back up? Is that something that
There's no question. I mean, it's year 13. I say this all the time. Year 13, best defense I've ever been around. I mean, it is a comforting thought knowing that we're putting them in some tough spots at times, and they're just powering through. They don't blink an eye. Turnover, poor field position, 3 and out by us. They go out there and they just get us the ball right back right away. And so it's a very comforting thought. And the challenge for us as an offense right now is to pull our weight, because we feel like those 2 other units are doing it on their side of the ball right now.
And that lends to kind of why I feel like this is not going to be a trap game, because the defense did play so well last week in the second half and really carried what was going on. And the offense felt like it lagged behind, right? And they had this like family mentality, and the offense, I feel, is going to come in this week and be really fired up against the 32nd ranked pass defense, and it might get ugly for them.
Players on this team on both sides of the football are really close no matter what position they play. Do you think that has something to it, the fact that it seems like every game there's one unit that has the other one's back, and just playing that complementary football?
Yeah, I mean, that's what good teams do. And that's shown up so far this year, is when one unit is not playing up to snuff, then the other ones pull them on along. So that's why we're 8-1 right now, to be quite frank with you. And that's a good thing. That's what teams that win in the tournament do.
And you're always so complimentary of AG, and just there's that best defense you've played with as a coach. He was asked today, how's he a better DC than when he got here, and he talked about just how much he's learned about offensive football, talking to coordinators, presumably you, but others around the country. And I'm just curious, you guys have been together this whole time. How does that relationship work with, talking to each other and learning, I guess, the alternative perspective in shaping your schematic understanding, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like every year in springtime and camp, they've shifted philosophies a little bit over the last 3 years, and a natural evolution of who he has on their side of the ball. You could kind of tell early on in camp that they were going to be really potent this year. And schematically, I think it's probably less in general, first and second down, and even third down. It's more the minutiae of situational football that you learn more from each other than anything else. We sit in these game management meetings with Coach Campbell almost every week and see things from around the league that are going on, and we can kind of spitball back. Hey, what would we do if we were in this 2-minute drill with this situation? AG, what would you be thinking with your call? Ben, what would you be thinking with your call? So there's a lot of banter back and forth, and I think that's really how you grow as a coach, is get put in those types of spots that if you're not challenging yourself and asking yourself those tough questions, you wouldn't normally get to.
What was your assessment of how Skipper did filling in for Taylor Decker?
Up and down at times, but he fought his butt off, just like we knew he would. There were a couple times he got edged, but and in the run game maybe didn't get his responsibility, but overall was not unpleased with how he played. Up front, it was kind of shifted around to whether it's the pass protection or the run game, what little piece was off. Panay didn't play his best half there in the first half. A couple times in pass pro. I know Graham got on one of the third downs. So it was kind of all over the place there. And then they came together and played well there in the second half.
When you mentioned
and sometimes the reporters ask questions, and it's like it's got to be followed by like a 50-second take of their own. But I saw exactly what he saw right there is the offensive line. It took a minute. Like, it wasn't just, I thought Skipper did okay, but by the time the fourth quarter came around, you could visibly see the Houston wasn't as excited to go out there and try to defend these guys coming downhill with like Penei Sewell. So that they were very energetic at the beginning, but our offensive line ended up wearing them down. So yeah, they got a couple of the offensive linemen got earlier in the game, but none of them got in the fourth quarter at all. They dominated the fourth quarter. They took over the game when you want a team to take over the game, which is at the end of the game, and that's why they won.
Just challenging JMO on the sidelines. What does that look like? What does that sound like? And was that like a personal challenge that you issued him on Sunday?
Well, the one that I think it was the last interception we threw up, you know, he came to me. He's like, hey, was my angle right? And I was like, no, it wasn't right. It's not what we had talked about. But the ball is going to come to you in the fourth quarter here, and we need you to make a play. And, you know, he responded to that call just like that. So there's I think that happens within practice, that happens in the meeting room, and it certainly happened on game day last week for us.
On Jacksonville, you know, their season-long defensive stats aren't that impressive, but they're coming off a pretty strong performance last week. Just kind of curious what you saw on tape, if they did anything different, or if they're just kind of starting to click.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the coverage start to tighten up. This is an aggressive press defense, whether they're in single high or two high. They like to get up in your grill and challenge. They had some coverage breakdowns early in the year. You probably saw it in the Miami game. Miami got half their yardage off of 2 plays. And so they've given up some explosives. They limited that to a larger degree last week, and they played good red zone defense and held them to field goals. So talented unit, got a lot of respect for their defensive coordinator, good scheme, coaches them hard, and they have talent at all 3 levels all across the board. So you got to take the rankings with a little bit of a grain of salt, because if you fall asleep on a team like this, they'll come out and embarrass you in a hurry.
You see, and here's the point that I want to make for us fanboys right here. So when everybody's like, oh, you better worry about it's NFL, you got to worry about any team, and you got to throw rankings out the window, right? We don't have to. We're the fan base. We can do whatever we want. We can talk all the shit that we want. That's why we do it right there. But make no mistake about it. Ben Johnson, they're out there scheming it up, and they're not overlooking anybody on offense. And that's why I don't think that we're going to have this hangover that some of the other fan bases think that we're going to have or not, because Ben Johnson will get these guys ready, and they're not taking anything for granted. And he had talked about the big explosive plays where they got beat on like 2 different plays. That's why I feel it's going to be a big game for Jameson Williams this week. I think they're going to get them with the explosive plays, because if they like to play up and they like to play on that man coverage, Jameson Williams is about to he's about to feast, in my opinion.
Played some really good football for a long time. He seems to be in a stretch here where he's playing exceptional. I don't know, as good as ever. Is there a health-wise or is there something else that maybe is contributing to him just being, on top of his game?
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably feels good. I don't know. You'd have to ask him that one. Probably as good as you could feel mid-season right now, but he's mastered everything we've thrown at him mentally in terms of identification. He is the quarterback of the offensive line, of the blocking unit for sure. And I think there's a comfort level to go with that. And I agree with you. He's playing some of his best ball of his career right now. Won the game ball last week as a result of that. Thank you.
All right. All right. Very nice. Very nice. I don't know what you guys think about that type of content right there. Do you guys like going over what the coordinators say? Is that something that you like doing? Because I kind of enjoyed experiencing that with you guys. And why for yes and for no. I'm just trying to I'm not making any decision on how I want to do anything going forward. I know we went a little bit over today because of that, because we were talking about Jake Paul. We were talking about Mike Tyson. and how they're ruining boxing or they're helping boxing or whatever side you're on. But do you like something like that? Yeah, Dwayne, you like that? I think I'm going to start doing some stuff like that because the coordinators and the coaches, they actually come out at times every week. And I can make sure that either Mike or myself can put that out here just to make sure that everybody, sees it. And, a lot of the opinions that I have, are based off of what I hear the actual coaches saying. I think the coaches give insight even when they're not saying anything. But this is the Lion Villain Report. I'm your host, Russell Wayne. I'm here Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. Broadcasting live onto my Facebook page. The Villain. The Villain loves having you. Villains broadcasting live on our YouTube page at Lions Villain Squad. We're brought to you by NFL Shop. Affiliate marketing partners. You can use the link in the comments. Get yourself up to 30% off of your order. It's faith, family, and then football on here. We use football. We don't let football use us. We use football to create memories for our family. We don't let football use us. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on my live side. Thank you, everybody, for watching on the replay, if that's what you're doing. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. And that'll be tomorrow for the Villain Report. God bless you guys. Talk to you.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running and maybe we just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never to sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity. Your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity.